Guys, Scott here with Snyder Gaming. Wanted to show you a quick tutorial on Escape from Zombie City. This game plays 3 to 5 players, roughly 45 minutes to an hour long, and age range 12 and up. I feel that if your children are mature enough to understand that zombies aren't real, you might be able to go down to 10 and up. But right now we have it rated as ages 12 and up. To give you a quick look at the back of the box, this kind of tells you what's going on and why you're trying to escape the city. So zombies have started, flooding into the city and taking over. You are trying to escape, so you're trying to get to the extraction zone. On the way through, you will fight zombies, you will get weapons, you get quick cures, stuff like that, and you can help each other along the way if you want to. Once you get to the extraction zone, we'll tell you what happens then, and then how quickly the game can be over at that point. But we'll get into this right now. We're going to get a little bit adjusted on the screen here and kind of go from there. Okay, so we have the board laid out here. You have your ammo. These are your bullets when you come across the ammo cards. These are your bite markers for when you get bit. Hopefully you don't, but we'll see what happens. These are your zombie tokens. You will lay them out as you play, and then these are your player pieces, different colors and the dice. Also, you have your survival cards. These are what you draw when you move around the city, and this is your direction book, basically. These tell you what's going on and everything. The rules is what I was trying to think of a second ago. We'll get into that in just a few minutes. You will pick your little person here, which one you want to start with. And you'll have your starting locations here on the board. Just want to get this open real quick. You have your starting locations on the board. They will say start. The red zones are the quarantine zones. We'll get into those a little bit. And you have blockades, you have cars, you have things like that. Now, the cars, the barricades, and the quarantine zones you cannot go through. You have to go around. Also, when you come across the zombie, you can't go like walking by the zombie. Okay, you have to fight it if you come across one on the board. Down there is the extraction zone with the helicopter and the parking lot there. Now, after you choose your player and you roll to see who goes first, you will be able to choose one of 5 things. You have a crowbar, you have a hatchet, a baseball bat. These are items that you will just kind of get going through the well as well. There's also a a pipe wrench and a lead pipe as you go through. But we're going to start off with these 3. So you'll be able to choose through one of those 5 things. We'll start off with the crowbar to show you a couple things on the card itself. I am not good at editing, so you're going to have to just stick with me here. Up here at the top, you see these 2 little numbers. This is 5 and 6. Now, when you come across a zombie, that's what you'll have to roll in order to hit the zombie and kill the zombie. Now, it only takes 1 hit to kill the zombies. There's nothing, superior here or anything like that. It's not like 6 or 7 whacks and you kill it. It helps speed the game up and everything. And then down here also it shows 1 hand. Okay. Now we have some cards that say 1 hand. We have some cards that say 2 hands. Now what this does is if you have a one-handed weapon, you can actually hold something else in your other hand. All right. As you play along, you will come across other things that say 2 hands. So the baseball bat here is 2 hands. Okay. When you use 2 hands, it takes obviously both hands, so you can't carry something else. All right. Even if you're just like running from one thing to the other. There is the lead pipe. Right now I'm going through the cards that I should have done earlier, so you can see what's going on with certain things. Okay. There is the pipe wrench. You'll have swords that you'll come across, axes, handguns, bicycles and skateboards and stuff. So we're just going to talk about a few of these and a couple of the zombie cards that you will come across as well. Trying to find, oh, there they are. All right. So Now, a couple of the other cards that you can come across is the bicycle, for instance. So the bicycle players can use, but it takes 2 hands, all right, but adds 3 to your movement. Also, there is the skateboard. Now, the skateboard takes no hands, all right, obviously, so you can still carry 1 or 2 weapons with you as you move along. But on both of these, this one gives you 2 extra movement as well. On both of these, you will, if you come across the zombie, you get knocked off and you lose those items, all right? They go back to the discard pile. The reason why that is, it's way too easy for somebody just to stay on both of them, get off, fight, get back on, take off, that's way too easy. Nobody else would ever get one if you had to reshuffle or anything. So when you come across a zombie while you're on one of those, you lose those items, okay? Now, the advantage of the skateboard with no hands is you can still carry your weapons. If you don't have a backpack, which we have that, oh, I thought I set that out, which I did not. The backpack. If you have a backpack with you, it holds up to 4 extra items, okay? Not including the 2 you have in your hand. So this holds 4 items. If you have, a 2-handed weapon, you still have your 2-handed weapon in your hand. If you have the bicycle, you can still carry this with your items. Also, if you have, 2 single-handed weapons, you can carry those with 4 extra items. You can only have 1 backpack per person. Make that very simple. That's kind of obvious. Also, there are quick cures, which is a 1-handed weapon. These heal up to 3 bites. If you get bit, 3 times by a zombie, 1 time, 2 times, you can use this to get rid of those bites. We'll get into more about the zombie bites here in a few minutes. You also have a handgun, which is a single-hand weapon. You can see the numbers are a lot better there, but you only have 6 rounds with this handgun. Now you can hold 2. If you come across the second one, you can hold 2 if you want to. That gives you 12 rounds and double attack. All right. If you hold 2 weapons, you get to do 2 attacks. Okay. Then we have the assault rifle. There are 2 of these. They also have big numbers and they hold different amounts. This one here holds 12 and the other one holds 10, but they are 2-handed weapons. Okay. I know you see a lot of times in movies where there's, somebody's holding 2, but to make the game a little bit more fair again, that way, somebody else can have 1. We will allow somebody to hold 2. Will not allow somebody to hold 2. Then we have the famous one, the chainsaw. Look at those numbers. You go all the way down to a 2. The only way you're going to miss with the chainsaw is if you roll a 1. Okay, but here's the thing. It's 2 hands, and you only get it for 3 fights. Now, that's not 3 rounds. Understand that. It's 3 fights. So, if you're rolling and you start pulling up quick cures or you start pulling up backpacks and stuff, you you cannot, that does not count towards the 3 fights. You have to physically fight zombies, okay? Now, also, when you do fight your 3 fights, you lose this card. It goes to the discard pile. Basically, you find them along the street, it runs out of gas. Because, even though you are not fighting with it, you're constantly letting it run. All right, you don't want to sit there and, you have a zombie attacking you trying to start that thing. So you're just running through the streets with a running chainsaw. So obviously, you're probably going to attract some zombies. Now, enough with the weapons here. After you've chosen your weapon to start and everything, you start moving along, you're rolling, and you come across zombies. Now, there's a couple of zombie attack cards that I would like to go over with you. And then we'll talk about how the fight sequence will go. All right, we're not going to do that one yet. All right, so we have these here that you have zombie attack cards and zombie alert cards, and then you have the famous zombie horde. The horde we'll get to here in just a minute, but the zombie attack card here, and we'll read a couple of these out. So one of them, simple one, a zombie comes from around the corner and attacks you. It grabs at you and tries to bite you. Place the zombie token onto the board in front of you and roll the die to see if it bites you. Then you can run or try to kill it. Good luck. that's a simple one. You'll come across a zombie, fight it. Here's another one. You startle a zombie and it attacks you. Place a zombie token on a tile in front of you and roll to see if it bites you. After it tries to bite you, you can run or fight it. Now, we'll also get into running here in a minute. And then we have one that I wanted to show you particularly. Okay, here it is. This one's a little bit complicated, okay? Now, it says zombie attack. 2 zombies try to attack you, one from behind and one in front of you. They both try to take a bite of you. Place a zombie token in front of you and behind you in the available tiles. Roll for both zombies that are attacking you. You will have to kill at least one before deciding to run away. Now, there are certain circumstances, and I'm going to point this out right here, okay, where when you come across a zombie, all right, we're going to slide this up just a little bit, you see this pathway, either here or here, okay? Now, if you have a zombie, let's pull these out. I wasn't going to do this, but I need to do it just for this point of view, okay? And of course, these are not coming apart right now at all. Here we go. All right. You get your little player out here, and say George is out here, and he come across this card with 2 zombies, one from behind and one from the front. All right. Let's go ahead and pop this open. Okay, so you take these 2 zombies and you place them like this. Now, just because you have a path to your left does not mean you can just walk away. All right. These 2 guys are trying to grab a hold of you, trying to bite you. You have to defend them both. They both get an attack, okay? Now, first things first, you roll for both of them, okay? So first one attacks, whether they miss or hit. Second one attacks, they miss or hit. Now, you pick one side. You can pick the way you were going. You can, see, you can say you saw him first, turn around and try to hit the other one. You get to choose one. You cannot run away until you kill at least one, okay? And the way the fight sequence goes, let's go ahead and back one of these off. We're just going to say you're fighting this guy. All right. Say he gets first attack. You take a swing at him. They take a swing at you. You take it. You keep going until either you decide you're going to try to run away, which you have to roll for that. The only way you can run away is if you roll. You have to roll 1, 2, 3 in order to run away. 4, 5, or 6 means they get another attack. Okay. Now. And that goes back into the fight sequence, okay? On your turn, you try to run away. If you miss, they get attacked. That's their turn, all right? Then it goes back to you. Now, if you do run away, if you do manage to roll 1, 2, or 3, you can only move 1 space. Doesn't mean you get to move up to 3 if you roll a 3. You only get to move 1 space away. That token stays there, okay? You back up 1 space or you head to the left 1 space, okay? But only either after you've killed one of the 2 zombies that have attacked you or you've decided to get away from this particular zombie. All right. Now, this happens with all cards. If you decide to run away, the card goes back to the discard pile that you originally came across as far as the zombie attack card, zombie alert, or the zombie horde. And that token stays there so somebody else comes across it. Okay, it doesn't go away. If somebody else comes across it, they want to attack it, they can. Now, the reason why somebody might want to attack it is these actually have points. You got a little single here. They go up 1, 2, or 3, and they're random. When you do your setup, which we have not talked about yet, we'll get into more here in just a minute, you will lay these face up. All right, to where the points are on the bottom. So you pick them at random. You'll slide them across the table here and have them spread out and mixed up. We may as well get into the setup now that I've started it. You will shuffle up the cards, the remaining cards. Shuffle them up, and whenever you move, so you roll a 3, 1, 2, 3. Whenever you move, you pull a card and see what it does. So the bicycle pulled up here. Okay, then you would get the bicycle pot if you wanted it. Now, I do want to talk about the zombie card, the zombie horde. The zombie horde is a awesome and horrible card all at the same time. Now, the zombie horde, let's say zombie horde. Okay, now you have a little bit of description that happens here. So I'm going to read this out. You stumble upon the zombie horde. Place 10 zombie tokens on the 10 tiles in front of you, or as many tokens that are left, even if the tiles turn. If I was you, I would run, but you can fight them if you need to get past them. and I'll explain why that is relevant here in a minute. You get first attack on each zombie if you decide to fight them. I'm going to explain that as well. That does not mean that you get to just wall right through them. All right, hang on 1 second. Okay, sorry, I needed to get a drink of water. My mouth was getting dry very quickly. Okay, so back to the zombie horde card. You do not just get to, once you beat one, you go on to the next one. No, it's not going to work like that, okay? So let's say you hit the zombie horde card. Now, the reason why it says on there, if you need to get past them, we played at a local event. It was actually at MakeVention, which is coming up on August 23rd this year, 2021. We had a mom and son wanted to, kind of quick play this game and see what it was like. They made it to here, all right? The son made it to here, which is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 5 spaces away. 4 to get there, 5 to get in, all right? Just because you land here doesn't mean you're automatically in, all right? He landed here and he pulled the zombie card, the zombie horde card. He had to place 10 and they go directly in front of you, all right? So he laid one there. Actually, if I remember correctly, he was actually right here. So he couldn't lay one here. He couldn't lay any here. He had to lay them all right here. All right. So not being able to look, he had to fill in this entire area. All right. All the way down. All right. As you can get the picture, all the way through, which blocked his entire way. Now, his mother was sitting like right here. She has a clear path. All right. If she rolls a 1, 2, 3, 4, if she rolls a 5 or a 6, she's in, and she did. She ended up getting in really quickly. But he was stuck here, fighting. He had to come across all of these zombies right here directly in front of him. Which is why I say if you need to fight through them, you can. Now, what will happen is you can fight this first guy, you kill him, your turn is over at that point. It goes to the next person until it gets back to you. Then, if you need what to, you can step forward and take on the next one. You fight until either he takes you out, which we'll get into just here in a second, or you take it out. Then that's your turn. Now, real quick before I get to the end game. Okay. Now, obviously, you're killing zombies to collect points. There's another way to there's a couple more ways to get points. Okay. One of those ways is if one of the other people in the city is getting out, trying to get out, if they become a zombie. The way you become a zombie is if you get bit 4 times. All right. Let's say George and Susan are the closest to here, but Susan gets taken out by a zombie. All right. She gets bit 4 times. She doesn't have a quick cure, and she couldn't get away. So she becomes a zombie. What happens at that point is she is not out of the game. She, on the other hand, can actually go fight you. All right, she can go fight George. She can go fight Eric. Whoever else is left on the board. She can work her way over here while you're trying to slaughter these zombies. Now, killing a human zombie or a player zombie is 3 points. Okay, you get that 3 points automatically. Then, if you kill her, she can respawn anywhere in the red quarantine zones. Okay. If she can't get back to you, she can quarantine anywhere else to cut somebody else off from finishing the game. Now, if she didn't make it, why should you be allowed to make it? She can try to stop you guys from making it. So that's the, I guess, necessarily the advantage of becoming a zombie. If you get bit too many times, you're not out of the game. It doesn't mean anybody else has to win the game. You can literally stop everybody else. You can take out George here, and then you guys can go try to fight, Eric over here. You guys can work your way. Now, you can't just go to a quarantine zone, all right? You have to respawn. So if you get killed, you respawn there. Now, if you two are over there and he's over there, he sees that you are trying to work their way to him, then Eric, he's obviously just going to start trying to make his way to the extraction zone. All right, so that's how the turns work with the fighting and stuff. The zombie cards have been explained. The zombie players have been explained. Now let's talk about the extraction zone. Let's say Eric is not getting a lot of points, but I forget what I called this guy. George and Susan are or Courtney. So George and Courtney are just just taking out zombies left and right. He's not getting very many. He's only been getting a couple. They have like 5 or 6 by now. So Eric can work his way to the extraction zone. Now, when you get to the extraction zone, on the player who entered there, their next turn is a 4-turn counter. Starting on their next turn, there's 4 turns left to get out of the city. That's when the helicopter is like, okay, we're starting to get people. We're getting loaded up. We need to get going. Only a couple people left. We need to get. Eric, on the other hand, turns into a sniper. He is basically in the helicopter hovering above the city. He can shoot 8 spaces out. All right, helicopter drops down when somebody enters. Okay. So on his next turn, he gets 1 shot up to 8 spaces out. Now you can go straight out. You can go left or right. But it's only to the edge of the parking lot. So you count 8 spaces out. Now this also means diagonally, okay? So diagonally 8 spaces out. So then you basically form a, kind of like a rectangle around here, all right? Or a square around, an 8-space square around the extraction zone. You can shoot zombies. You can also shoot player zombies. Okay, well, let me rephrase that. You can shoot at player zombies and zombies on the thing. Now, if Eric is the last one, obviously helicopter sees that, they're just going to fly away. You don't get 4 turns. Actually, you know what? I think you do. But it doesn't matter at that point. It doesn't matter at all because obviously Eric won. Now, he can fly away. He's got the last of the points. Doesn't even need to count him up because he won the game. He's the last person surviving. So that's how the game works. That's how it's played. The rules, has more about, the zombies get 2, 4, or 6 to attack. That's what they roll. When you're shooting out of the extraction zone, it's a 1, 2, 5, or 6. Even though you do have a sniper rifle, you're in a helicopter. You're not trained for that. Okay, so 1, 2, 5, or 6, a 3 and a 4 miss. The first person here also gets 5 points automatically for getting to the extraction zone first. The second player is 4 points. The third player is 3 points. The fourth player is 2 points, and the fifth player is 1 point, depending on how many players you have. Obviously, plays 3 players, 3 to 5 players. So 3 players, it goes 5, 4, 3. Okay, depending on if you all make it. I do believe that is it. Once you roll to see who starts, you guys pick, your starting locations. You can pick that even before you roll to see who goes where. I would ask if there's any questions, but obviously I'm not going to have any, or you're not going to have any that I can hear. But you can leave comments down below this, and I will let you know when I see the comments on how certain things work. If you have questions about how to get to certain spots or anything like that, how certain turns work and stuff. I mean, obviously there's the rules here as well. It goes more in depth. I just wanted to give you guys a quick overview of how the game works. But thanks for checking it out. Again, my name's Scott. I'm with Snyder Gaming. Check it out at snydergaming.com. This video will be uploaded there as well as on my YouTube channel at Snyder Gaming. I'm sorry, SCS Snyder Gaming is what my YouTube channel is. But thank you for checking it out. Please, subscribe and like, and have a nice day. Remember, first is not a place, it's the life. SnyderGaming.com.